Yeah, amen. Warm ups, the unison. Okay, amen. Warm up, 3-part harmony, sopranos. You'll see me do this twice. And your first 3-part harmony, the first one that you do, will also be your last one. It will just be sung in a higher octave. Altos, 3-part harmony, same as I told the sopranos. Your first 3-part harmony, you'll see me do this twice, but the first time we go into 3-part harmony, those first sets of notes will be your last sets of notes, just sung in a higher octave. So here's your part, altos. Three-part harmony tenors. As I told the sopranos and altos, you'll see me do this twice. Remember, your first set of notes will also be your last set of notes, just sung in a higher octave on the 3-part harmony. So tenors, here's your part. is everything together. Full track from unison, from the beginning, unison, 3-part harmony.